Thank you very much. It's time now for a session entitled GenAI and Brand Creation with Neil Patel. After founding Crazy Egg, Kissmetrics, and other multi-million-dollar companies, today Neil works to grow UberSuggest and his agency NP Digital. Please join me in welcoming him on stage. Welcome, Neil.
Hello, how are you guys doing today? So today is an AMA where you guys can ask me any questions. I think it's called Reddit AMA. Anything you want about entrepreneurship, business, marketing, and I'll try to do my best to answer it. We have a mic runner in the back here somewhere. I think there you go, we got one there, and she can end up, oh, we got two. There you go. But yeah, so before we get started with the questions, I'll kick it off. Marketing's been changing over the last few years, especially with AI going out there. And we've done a few experiments, everything from creating content with AI to using it for data and analytics. The number one thing that we're seeing marketers use AI for is for content creation. But for fun, we took 68 websites. We created 744 articles, half written by AI, half written by human. The AI articles had human intervention. And what we found was that AI articles generated less traffic substantially after 5 months. The difference was roughly 5.44 times more traffic. In other words, the human written content generated 5.44 times more traffic than the AI written content. And the big lesson for us was the AI content lacks what's called E, expertise, experience, authority, and trust. And it's just creating a lot of regurgitated information. So it didn't do well. But on the flip side, when it comes to marketing and AI, when you use it for the data and analytics end, depending on what data source you use and follow, there's roughly over $100 billion of ad spend wasted each and every single year. If you use AI to analyze what's working and not working in real time, you're much more likely to produce a better ROI. And how many of you guys in here are startups? Raise your hand. How many of you guys are enterprises where you work, your companies do at least 100 million plus a year in revenue? Raise your hand. 2? So we'll say majority of startups. The one thing that's changed, or there's a few things that have changed in marketing, but I'll tell you some of the bigger ones. When I first started out as an entrepreneur, call it, 24-ish years ago, if you ended up doing one thing right, you could build a massive company. If you remember when Facebook got started, you would get emails. Your friend invited you to join Facebook. Your friend invited you to join Facebook. That was it. That's what caused it to explode. You look at Dropbox, the storage company, tweet for more space. Share this on the social web for more space. They literally grew by people inviting others by sharing it on the social web. Today, if you want to grow a startup or even an enterprise, you cannot do it the way Facebook and Dropbox did. These channels are saturated and they don't work as well. You have to take an omni-channel approach. One channel doesn't do well anymore. You need to use multiple channels. And if you use multiple channels, you can do well, but not one. And what you'll find is when you're leveraging all the channels out there to work well together, you have to be authentic. It used to be highly produced commercials like in the Olympics or Super Bowl or FIFA World Cup performed well. Now it's people taking their phone, recording, and using it as an ad. It ends up converting much, much better from what we're seeing over time. So I know it's not a long AMA, but in general, does anyone have any questions? I can answer anything. Go for it. I think someone will come for the mic.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. My name is Luis, and since I'm not going to be able to be on your workshop tomorrow, I would love to know the impacts of generative AI on search. If you can give us a brief introduction to that.
Sure. So Google first released, let's call it AI overviews, because that's the latest name. Google released AI overviews within search months ago in the United States. And then it started rolling out throughout the rest of the world. And a year ago, everyone said this is going to crush SEO and traffic to websites. So we did an analysis of 400 of our customers in the United States because it first rolled out within the United States. We took their SEO traffic just in the US 1 week prior to the AI overviews rolling out the GenAI and 1 week after. We actually saw an increase in traffic by a little bit less than 2% to our websites. Because what people didn't realize is GenAI is citing sources. It now gives you a new opportunity to get linked and mentioned, and it's driving good amount of traffic if you can get rankings within the AI overviews. So we're seeing it creating an opportunity for startups and businesses and marketers. And they're also integrating paid ads now in GenAI as well. What was that? The GenAI stuff isn't helping with backlinks, what Google's doing. You can use GenAI to create content, but we're not seeing the content do well. It's being low quality, so if you get backlinks from GenAI type articles in websites, it's not going to be that effective. GenAI for search results, you can get mentioned there. It doesn't help with backlinks, but it helps with traffic to your website. Either one.
Hey Neil, big fan. I'm on Uber Suggest. Ask me anything. All that good stuff. How involved do you think founders should be in terms of personal branding with their startup? Like by talking about their business as well, promoting their startup as their own personal brand, sort of what you did when you first started. Do you think that's applicable today as well?
All right. So if you look at my personal brand, it's not that big, but it's decent enough within the marketing industry. Would you agree with that?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so in the first year of our ad agency, NP Digital, we generated $5 million in revenue. I'm rounding to keep the numbers simple. It was $5 million and change, but let's use round numbers. Of that $5 million, 100% came from my personal brand. The second year, we did $18 million in revenue. Okay, out of the 18, $10 million came from my personal brand. The third year, we did 30-something million, and $10 million came from my personal brand. Okay, and then the fourth year, I believe is 60-something. I don't have the exact numbers, but I know it was more than 60, less than 70. 10 million only came from my personal brand. And the agency kept growing. We never made roughly more than 10 million of my personal brand. It accounts for a single-digit percentile in revenue. You want to take a bigger brand, Kylie Jenner. Okay, I don't know what country you live in, but everyone knows the Kardashians, right?
Miami, yeah.
Okay, you definitely know Kylie Jenner then. So you take Kylie Cosmetics, she's done a much better job than me building a personal brand. And when I give this example, I'm not trying to say Kylie Jenner's not successful or anything. I'm just giving you a perspective. Her company sold for supposedly $1 billion. Okay? The deal made her $500-600 million. But then there's taxes, partners, or something, so the money gets split apart. That's amazing. There was no second payout. The company did not necessarily perform on the similar growth trajectory. A lot of these influencers, Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, etc., their brand skyrockets the revenue, and then it starts slowing down and sometimes goes even backwards. Like, you probably don't remember Shoe Dazzle. Kim Kardashian's shoe company didn't do well. But they can skyrocket really high in sales. Jessica Alba's Honest Company. You can see the stock performance financially. I'm not saying Jessica Alba's a bad entrepreneur or anything. But if you look at Kylie Jenner, let's call it $500 million. How's that compared to L'Oreal or Estee Lauder? You're talking about companies that probably generate 50, 60, $100 billion in revenue. I don't know their revenue, but Estee Lauder and L'Oreal have a very massive market cap. It's a substantially bigger company on a magnitude of more than 100 plus times, easily, in revenue. The point I'm getting at is personal brands only get you so far. The biggest companies in the world are not personal brands. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't waste my time building a personal brand.
Interesting.
A personal brand is a good way to get you kick-started, but if you look at Kylie Cosmetics, you still need the distribution and operations to put it into all the retail stores and do all the boring, ugly stuff that Estee Lauder and L'Oreal do to really build a big business. You look at my business, you can say, wow, Neil got to 10 million with this personal brand. I'm still small compared to my competitors. Some of my competitors generate 15, 16 billion a year in revenue. I don't generate 16 billion a year. Sure, some of these companies have been around for over 100 years, but the point I'm getting at is they're not personal brands. For example, have you heard of Dentsu, Aegis? Not a popular brand, yet, you know, they generate around 9 billion a year in revenue. No one talks about them. Everyone knows the Kardashians more than Dentsu, Aegis. Which one would you rather have? Exactly.
You know, I'm a big fan. Followed all your YouTube videos, especially the ones where you talked about the top 10 tools to increase traffic to your website.
Thank you.
Do you have any of those maybe recommendations for AI tools in this day and age to increase the traffic and promote the brand? And also, as an add-on, I just wanted to ask, so the gentleman over there mentioned that you're going to be doing a workshop tomorrow. Could you maybe talk a bit about that and the time and the place? Sorry about that.
Sure. So the time and the place of the workshop, I do not know. It's on the website. I would tell you, but I really don't know. Actually, it's probably in my calendar. Let's see. Tomorrow workshop. Oh, there you go. My assistant wrote it in. Look, time 12:30 to 1:30. Dubai Harbor, expand north. Workshop capsule near Hall 4. So I'm just pulling it from my calendar.
I'll be here at 12 tomorrow.
So, all right. Speaking of AI tools that are really good, have you checked out Hey Gen yet? So Hey Gen is, let's say I'm here speaking, it will dub the video into multiple languages and change it on the fly in as many languages as I want. It's not 100% accurate, but it's getting more and more accurate. Okay, have you also tried out Opus? It'll slice and dice your long form videos and then turn them into short form sound bites and clips. So then that way you can have much more popular like Reels and Instagram videos, but without you having to spend the time to try to figure out the soundable moments, like the sound bites. It just chops it up for you based on what it thinks will hit on social media. Those are two that I've been using that are pretty effective. There's a lot of other AI tools out there, but a lot of them aren't as effective. Like I've used Jasper a lot, but Jasper is not producing as great content as me just using ChatGPT, for example. I love Adobe Firefly. Have you used Adobe Firefly yet? You should check that out for images. I prefer that over the other image-based solutions to create, AI-based images. But the problem with a lot of the tools out there when it comes to AI is just they're just not producing the accuracy and the results to just rely on them and use them on a regular basis. But start off with those three.
Okay, Neil, huge fan, obviously.
Thank you.
Just wanted to tell you, while you were speaking, I was informed that one of my friends got a baby, Alex. And you spoke about the past, you spoke about the present, and what about the future? Like, not techie thing, but I know that you're not a fortune teller, but tell us for Alex and his generation, what awaits them.
So first off, his generation, and congratulations on being born. but his generation is going to use voice search to get a lot of things done. Second, they're going to be in a much more connected world. Here's what I mean by this. I'm not talking about Elon Musk's cyber cabs or anything like that. I'm talking about even more connected than you can imagine. Imagine waking up into your house in the morning and a robot's cooking you breakfast and you're going through the fridge and you're like, what else do we have here that I like? Oh, I'm almost out of milk. The fridge will notify you that you're almost out of milk, and it'll say, hey, we notice you're drinking this brand of milk. Did people who drink this brand of milk and like it also like this other new brand called 1, 2, and 3? I'm making it up. Silk almond milk. It's similar to milk, but it has all these extra nutritional benefits, and we can send you a free sample that'll arrive in the next 30 minutes. Would you like to accept this? Yes. Once you finishes it, it'll weigh it. It'll know that it'll be finished in your fridge. Now that you're drinking it, do you like it? Yes, I like it. Would you like us to put a regular monthly subscription for you? The world, the devices, the hardware that you're using is going to be very connected. I was talking to a company the other day, and they were telling me they can put in billboards on a street that can measure people's heart rate and health. I don't know how accurate that is. That's hard for me to believe, but we'll see if that comes true over time as you walk and things can tell you if you're healthy or not. Imagine a toilet, using a toilet without getting detailed, telling you what you're lacking and what you need to change in your diet, and you have a robot making and adjusting that so you're healthier and you live longer. That is the world we're going to end up living in. It is going to be very connected. And you're going to see the platforms like a Google, a Facebook, etc., running a lot of this because they're controlling the eyeballs. They're controlling the advertising ecosystems. All you have to do is just plug in these devices to Apple, Google, etc., Microsoft, and they can start powering a lot of our life more than what we're used to on these devices. So I think we're out of time now. I appreciate it. We only have 1 second left on the monitor, but I appreciate you guys coming. Sorry I couldn't answer all your guys' questions, but I'll be here for the next few days giving a few more speeches. I have 2 tomorrow and 1 on Thursday. Thank you guys very much.